We are 1 year to the day away from the Parapan AM 2015 games right here in Toronto, and everybody is ramping up. They're anxious to talk about next season in the Parapan games right here in Toronto. We're pleased to be joined now with an athlete, Jaye Milley from Calgary. Jay, you've got to be excited. This is a special day, 1 year away from the start of those games.
Oh, yes, Buck. 1 year away from the Parapan American Games. And, you know, that will be, at the time, the biggest race for all the athletes attending.
How many athletes do you anticipate will be here in Toronto?
I think they're saying above 2,000. I think it's supposed to set a record for about 2,400 athletes.
You are from Calgary, you're 23 years old, and you have participated in these games in the past in London and in Guadalajara, Mexico. That must be a great experience for you.
Oh, I mean, it's amazing. I mean, I just described it recently to somebody, Buck. You know, they asked me, how was your time in London? And I said, you know, you got to think about it like this. It was 8 years of training, eating, breathing, drinking, loving cycling, and all to come together and coalesce in one moment is just truly undescribable.
Jay, tell us about ramping up and what it takes now to operate in these type of games. What's the workout schedule?
Right, so for someone like myself, I actually compete year-round because I do road and track cycling, which are the two disciplines. Now, track cycling is typically in the spring to, you know, the winter, and in the summer is the road. So I compete year-round. So nothing's going to be out of the ordinary for myself. I will just continue training like I normally do, and you know, it's a big event for me, and it'll have special meaning because it's at home, of course, and that's the way it'll go.
How many hours a day do you train?
I train for 6 days a week, anywhere from 2 to 6 hours a day.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah. Tremendous commitment. I know you also ski, you snowboard.
Yes.
You do a lot of other sports too. Does that take you away from some of your fun sports, if you will?
You know what? I wouldn't be able to do what I do if I wasn't passionate and loved my sport. I could not dig as deep as I do and push my limits to the very edge if I didn't enjoy cycling. So I still love to do it. It's still recreation for me. I'll cycle until I die, and I will continue to do all other sports as well.
They're building a lot of venues here in Toronto, obviously, for the games, and the Velodrome, I believe, is in Milton.
Yes, it is.
And you must be excited about having a new facility and something that you can go to and participate in these types of games.
Yes, it's truly amazing because our cycling program, our track cycling for able-bodied and Paralympic, is extremely successful, and that is without a high-performance facility in Canada. So guess what? Watch out for the Parapan American Games, because you know what? Our athletes, able-bodied and Parapan, are going to bring it because now we have the facilities to back us.
Okay, now I got to ask you about your first pitch. You got a chance to throw out the first pitch
yes.
tonight, and you threw it to a Gold Glover, Mark Burley.
Yes, it was quite an amazing experience. I haven't thrown a ball, honestly, in quite a long time, and so I was happy it went as well as it did.
Mark Burley is a special guy. He always participates, and there you are, right before the start of this game. And it's got to be exciting to step on this field and be part of the opening ceremonies.
Oh, it was truly special. I'm going to remember this day for quite a long time. It'll be one in the books for sure for me.
What did Burley say to you when he caught it and came out there?
Yeah, he said, nice throw. I don't know if he was thinking I was going to miss it or something, but he said, nice throw, signed the ball, and it was great to shake hands with such a high-performing athlete.
Very, very impressive. Back to your sport. How did you get into that? What drove you to that?
Right, so I've played every sport known to man, and at the time when I made the transfer to cycling, I actually played soccer competitively on an able-bodied team. I actually broke my kneecap, and the doctors, they told me that I had to stop playing soccer. And at the time, that was my love, that was my cycling, that was my passion, and to have that ripped out from underneath me was truly devastating. And I was 14 at the time, and it's always been a rule in my household to have one extracurricular activity going on at one time. Doesn't matter if it's the arts or sport. I basically, because of that, did everything. So after my incident with soccer, my mom went and found the cycling program in Calgary, Alberta at the Olympic Oval, and my very first coach, Stephen Burke, was the one that met with me, and he sat me down, and it's very interesting because I couldn't even ride a two-wheel bicycle at the time. I bombed around on this tricycle that we had dubbed the Tank because it was like 60 pounds of raw steel, and it just wasn't the same as riding a two-wheel. When I met with Steven, he said to me, he said, Jay, I'll have you riding a bike in 6 months, and sure enough, he did it. I don't think it was for lack of trying. I tried my hardest for so long, years and years. I think it just took the expertise of a cycling coach to give me that last skill set to get on the two-wheel bike, and I knew instantly that this was something that I loved and I was so passionate about that I was going to take it all the way.
That is awesome. Now I got to ask you about your nickname. They call you the Iceman. How'd you get that?
So before London, about a year before London, they did a program called the Super Athletes Program, and it was very similar to the video that was displayed tonight, where they were showcasing the athletes leading into London. And they came up with that that handle, that name for me, because I'm always able to remain calm, and no matter what the situation. I mean, somebody asked me today, "Are you nervous going out in front of all these fans in front of the stands?" And I said, it's a big deal, but I'm okay. I'm cool as a cucumber. I'm an Iceman, right? So
the Iceman.
Well, Jay, we want to wish you the best and all of the Canadian team next year. We'll be keeping an eye out for you. I know it's going to be a great year for you leading up to it. All the best in your training, and we want to thank you for your time tonight.
Thank you so much. If there's one thing I can do, I would like to challenge everybody out there watching today. I would like you to challenge you to watch Paralympic sport and show, and you will soon believe that we are just as competitive, we go just as fast, we train just as hard, and you know what? I say this with extreme bias, but we are better to watch. We have better stories.
And I can tell you're passionate about it, Jay. Congratulations and all the best. Great to have you here tonight.
Thank you so much.
Thanks for stopping by, Jay.
Great.
That's Jaye Milley, who is going to be participating in the 2015 Parapan American Games right here in Toronto next year.